Doesn't matter how much money I make, it's never gonna quite be enough.
We can't live off $7,000 a month. We can't.
That's the one they're threatening to garnish me with.
Do you know what, Eryk? You've royally screwed it up. And Selena has let you.
You're making it sound like you have no idea what's going on, and that you do.
Eryk, you suck it up and follow the plan, you're home free.
Money, 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 money.
I'm a plant manager. I manage a manufacturing facility.
And I'm an executive assistant.
We've been together for about 5 years now, and we have Carly, who's 12, and Phoenix, who's 3.
I took 3 years off, and I just recently returned back to the workforce. We just couldn't make it anymore without the extra income. It wouldn't be possible without Carly. I mean, Carly is amazing. We made a deal with her when she's watching her brother. We're going to pay her $20 a week, and we still have yet to pay her.
I've had 5 jobs. I moved into my 6th job.
We've moved at least 6 or 7 times.
But I've also tripled my salary. Now I make a lot of money, but we still struggle.
The bad finances started with our student loans.
Student loans were all over us.
Every paycheck, we do pay advances. And then we're already in debt, that amount, so we have to take out another one.
Every time we're poor, she brings up the truck.
I was really ticked that he had spent that money on the vehicle. I thought, like, I have no say in this.
Doesn't matter how much money I make, it's never gonna quite be enough.
Eryk and I do have different opinions on how the money should be spent. He wants to make sure all the bills are getting paid. I want to make sure we have food in our fridge. Sometimes he'll tell me bills are going to get paid, but it doesn't.
Humiliating? Horrible. Horrible. I manage all purchasing in my work life. I manage all operations. He's running our multi-million-dollar business, but he can't keep his finances at home in order.
There's no end to this madness.
This month, I'll help this couple move from red to black. I've been solving money problems for over 20 years, tackling everything from high finance to low income. I help people understand money and debt, which is still a huge mystery for most folks. And it's the #1 reason couples split up. So now, I'm making house calls. For the past 5 years, Eryk and Selena have been struggling to make ends meet on one income. Now they're both working and think they're entitled to a better lifestyle. But they can't move forward until they clean up the financial mess from the past. So I'm here to help them set their priorities straight.
Gail Vaz-oxlade.
Eryk, my wife, Selena.
Nice to meet you, Selena.
You too.
First, a quick peek into their lifestyle.
This is a nice big room, but there's nothing fancy.
Instead of paying down the debt, this couple rents houses and cars bigger than they need.
And Carly's a little bit of Cinderella.
They're shortchanging their future.
Oh my God. When you move 6 times in 5 years, stuff just doesn't ever get unpacked. You people are so weird. You have been in control of the finances in this household, and Selena has let you. But you know what, Eryk? You've royally screwed it up.
No, I think I've kept it together as much as I could.
It seems okay if every time you move you get a better paying job,
Yes.
but you don't get to drive a $700 a month car and make your daughter your primary childcare provider. When you brought home your first paycheck and he said, okay, Mammy, down you go to the pay advance store, when do you ever put your foot down and say, no, that's not what we do anymore?
I don't know what to say.
The reason I'm here is not strictly your financial chaos. Once Selena got a job, financially you should be just fine. But that concerns me because you will fix this financial problem in the short term, and then it'll come back and it'll bite you big time.
Selena's given up on her dream of staying home with the kids to try and relieve their financial situation. But the debt's still there. And it's not going to go anywhere until they learn how to manage their money.
This is 1 month's worth of banking transactions. We have NSF fees on the 6th of the month, 12th, 13th, 14th, again on the 25th and the 29th. So this month, you spent $148 in bank fees. Stupid!
Waste.
Total waste.
Yeah.
One of the other problems you have is you spend a lot of money in cash. When you spend it in cash, I can't track it. I have no idea where it's gone. On the 6th of September, you took out $300. Took more money out on the 8th, the 11th, you went 3 times. So that day you did $920. On the 12th you did 100, 200 on the 22nd, and 300 on the 29th. That's a lot of cash, and we don't know where it is. And finally, the debt load. You have a big fat consolidation loan, but what's also happening is you are racking up fresh debt. You have pay advance loans, overdraft, unpaid taxes. You owe on your utilities. While you think you are making a dent in the original debt, you're playing a losing game because you're stealing from Peter to pay Paul, and so there you are with $40,000 worth of debt. Now, would it surprise you to learn that I can have you paid off in 2 years? Would it surprise you?
Yes.
But here comes the hard part. I need you guys to promise me you will do whatever I ask you to do over the next 4 weeks so that I can get you out of this hole.
Yes, we agree.
Definitely.
You do my challenges, I'll give you up to $5,000 to help you pay down this debt. Don't do the challenges, you don't get the money. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to even up the financial control. The second thing we're going to do is going to put you on that great debt repayment program. And finally, we're going to get you working together on the same priorities, and there won't be any doubt in your mind that you are a team. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Then I want your credit cards and your debit cards right now. Thank you very much. Go get them.
Okay.
Are you a little happy, Selena?
I'm ecstatic.
Coming up,
That's the first thing in 5 years I've ever done for myself.
you get no sympathy from me whatsoever.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
I love my car.
Eryk is a fast-rising executive who can manage corporate cash flow, but not his own bank account.
You've royally screwed it up. And Selena has let you.
They have moved from one end of the country to the other for Eryk's career, fending off creditors they leave behind.
That's the one they're threatening to garnish me with.
Selena was overjoyed to hear I could wipe out their debt in just 2 years.
Because you didn't think you were ever going to get out of this.
No, not even nearly close to this amount of time.
They can paint a rosier future for themselves if they learn how to handle their money. And to do that, they're going to have to live by my rules. For the next month, this couple will learn to live on a strict cash budget. No more credit cards. They'll complete weekly challenges to tackle their money and relationship issues. And if they're willing to change, I'll reward them with thousands of dollars to pay down their debt. No changes, no money.
So this is the part where I give you your cash for the week. I'm cutting your variable spending from about $2,300 a month to just under $1,400 a month.
Oh.
So I've cut it by 41%.
Really?
You will now have $125 a week on groceries, $125 for transportation. You'll have $25 a week for entertainment, $25 a week for clothing and gifts, $46.25 for other. This other jar also includes $80 a month for your daughter's allowance. The only way she'll ever learn to manage money is to be given some money. You weren't given money as a child, which means you didn't learn how to manage it. Okay?
Okay.
Good. This week's challenge is a life lesson challenge, and it comes in a few parts. You know that stinking messy room upstairs?
Yeah.
You know your messy finances?
Yeah.
You're taking over control of the money.
Okay.
And that means you're going into that room and cleaning it up. Make sure you know exactly where everything is.
Okay.
Eryk, you love your car. The first part of your challenge involves getting in touch with the various organizations that help break leases so that you can get into a less expensive vehicle. I have budgeted $400 a month.
But it's not even possible for me to get another lease. It's not even possible for me to get another vehicle. That means it's not possible for me to work. That's not possible to have an income.
Look very closely at me, Eryk. The second part of your challenge requires that you spend the weekend living in your car.
Oh. Really?
Yes?
No.
I want you to see that conceivably you could end up with your whole family living in the car if you don't fix the problem.
That's the first thing in 5 years I ever took on my own. Ever done for myself. First thing. I'd go without food for days because I would not spend the money on myself, so I would give it to the family. I'm a top executive and I got 3 pairs of work clothes. I had a nice condo, I had a Porsche, everything like that. I gave it all up.
I come here to identify issues and give you challenges that I hope will open your eyes to circumstances. And I've showed you where your money's going. You have to cut the $300, okay? It is up to you now to decide where to put the stoppers. If you can find a way to make the budget work with each other, then, hey, you make it work. You'll have time on the weekend to work through it in the car.
I'm supposed to be away from my family and everything like that for the...
Eryk, it's a weekend.
But it's not a fair weekend because we both discussed that we wanted a truck. She wanted a truck. Here's the trucks we do.
You suck it up and follow the plan, you're home free in 24 months. Or stand here and fight over it and let your children see what it's like to live in a household that is absolutely torn apart by financial discussions. Okay? I'll see you next week.
She is tough. We were a little taken aback, mostly with Eryk's challenge. It took a while to get the room clean, going through piles and piles of bills everywhere. It's good to get organized. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Woo, we can run in here now.
It seemed like a prison sentence, right? Talked it over with my family and that, and kind of decided to spin it into something that was more fun. We could make it a camping trip kind of deal, and yeah, my son Phoenix, stayed with me.
When he was in the truck without Phoenix, he was working on the budget.
Here, I brought you some breakfast, babe. Breakfast in the truck.
It's like tough love. Kick us in the balls so we feel it and we get our ass in gear.
You weren't all that happy with me when I left last week. You got over it?
Yeah, of course.
What made you change your mind?
Not really instantly thinking of it as a prison sentence, making more of an adventure out of it kind of deal, and involving the family and stuff.
Oh, Eryk got it. So you had some time while you were sitting in the car.
Yeah.
So you came up with a new budget.
Yes.
And you know what? It balances. You did a good job. And you slept in the car. Yeah. The room looks fabulous.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you were here 4 months, what took you so long?
We just never made time for it.
The #1 problem with people and their money is they never make time for it. Which brings us to our next challenge. This is your future plan challenge. Cool. I want you to imagine what it'll be like to buy your first home together. Get out there and drive around and see what's available, figure out what it is you want, then figure out what kind of down payment you will need to make the dream a reality.
It's kind of what we're looking for, and having Gail here is really to provide us direction on how we get to that next level.
Oh, I love her. I love the challenge.
Coming up, you always remember your first time.
First-time homebuyers are like teenagers trying to lose their virginity. They know they want to do it, but they're just not sure when.
Money, money, money. Money, 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 money.
Selena had to go back to work because Eryk had let their finances get so out of control, his $84,000 a year income wasn't enough to make ends meet. Now that she's contributing financially, Selena also needs to get involved in managing their money.
A good eye-opener for me.
And Eryk needs to learn to focus on paying off the debt rather than rewarding himself with expensive toys. You spend the weekend living in your car. You could end up with your whole family living in the car if you don't fix the problem.
I didn't think it could get more shocking than having to sleep in my vehicle.
If they can accomplish all of my challenges, I'll give them up to $5,000 and have them debt-free in 2 years.
I would love to be able to buy and just stay in one house.
My latest challenge is for them to plan for what they'll need to save to make that dream a reality.
I've got 4 places I think you're going to like.
Here's a picture of a house that I'd like to live in.
Wow, very nice. You know, I think we might be able to find something like that today. Here we are. This is our first house.
Oh, look, there's a school.
Oh, we wouldn't live in here in a million years, though.
We're really set on a detached house.
Part of going out and looking at houses is deciding what it is you like and you dislike.
With our financial situation, it's like we would never be able to afford a house like this, I'm sure, if we bought. So that's why we rent.
Well, I noticed the roof above the garage. That's gonna need to be fixed.
Yeah, but you have to get it inspected to make sure that it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to fix it up to make it what it is that you want. So here's our next one on the list.
Well, I don't think this is a dream. I think it's more of a nightmare.
So this is a nice little house, a lot more land than we've seen already in the past, a lot of upgrades. Okay. Now, when you're getting up there in price, you really have to get pre-approved for your mortgage.
To figure out how much house you can afford, calculate a maximum mortgage of about 3 times what you make. Eryk and Selena earn $120,000 a year, so they'll be able to afford a mortgage of about $360,000.
Well, this is a nice big backyard, nice tree line. That's nice.
Yeah, so a little bit of country.
Sure, yeah.
Does it help to clarify it when you do a little bit of window shopping first?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Do you have any money left in the jars?
Yeah, I have a little bit.
I'm going to tell you what the danger is, okay?
Okay.
He needs a check and a balance, and that's your job. You have to have a brain in your head too. Because if he doesn't have a check and a balance, he'll just, go Napoleon on us again. Okay?
Yeah.
Which brings me to this week's challenge, Relationship Rescue Challenge. You are a team. You have to be able to execute the moves as a team to get you through life. So you are strapping on skates, and you are going to learn an ice dancing routine together. The kids are going to score you.
Okay.
Ooh, all right.
So you know what? Blow my socks off. Up next, the final challenge.
You have to be aware of what the other person is doing all the time to avoid disaster.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Eryk had complete control of the family's finances.
I run multi-million-dollar businesses.
When his income wasn't enough, Selena had to give up on being a stay-at-home mom.
Had Selena not gone back to work, you would be increasing your debt $2,500 every month.
Doesn't matter how much money I make, it's never going to quite be enough. And why isn't it?
Moving from one end of the country to the other, late with payments, and always broke before payday, they're both frustrated and pointing fingers at each other. This month, I've tried to teach them that if they're willing to make some sacrifices, the future could be very bright. I'll help them out with up to $5,000 to pay down their debt if they complete all my challenges. Their final challenge is to prove they can work together.
Skating is very good training for life because you really have to learn to work as a team and you have to really be aware of what the other person is doing all the time to avoid disaster.
Wow.
What do you think?
Yeah, no problem.
That's it. Move to the front. Down. Woo! The Rockettes are in town. I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, me too.
Don't
stop.
I'll bring it back, sit right down.
Why do you stop, though?
I don't stop.
Careful, Eryk, careful. Come on. This time, Selena, I'd like you to really step up and give Eryk a very strong lead. Good, that's a nice, strong position. Good one.
That's over.
Excellent. And round.
He couldn't stand me when I first got here. He just wanted to murder me. Did you see him go purple? Yeah. Not feeling so bad anymore?
No, it's not so bad.
Okay, good. When I got here, you were playing autocratic dictator. And you were mad as hell that he was doing everything but not asking you any questions. You learned this month that if you are not sharing some of the control with Selena, then you will be at loggerheads, and that's no life worth living. We've created a debt repayment plan that gets you debt-free in how long?
2 years.
And together you can have anything you want, but you can only make it so if you're actually working together. We've also set aside some money for savings.
Yes.
And if you stick with the plan, by the time you're ready to retire, you'll have about $800,000.
Woohoo!
Not feeling so bad anymore?
No, it's not so bad.
Okay, so for you, I have. You're going to be disappointed.
Uh-oh.
Not.
Thank you. We thought 5 years at the minimum we'll be able to buy a house. So now it looks like, hey, in 2 years, if everything goes the way Gail set out, which it will, because I want my house in 2 years.
But you know what, guys? That's not all. You're an up-and-coming executive. You should at least dress the part.
Yeah, you know.
And you, my love, having entered the workforce, need to look snappy too. So for you, I have gift certificates totaling $500. Buy yourself what you need.
Thank you!
I guess what Gail was trying to get at was that, you know, if we're not taking the same steps together and in tune with each other, it falls apart. And if we're together, making the same steps and working together, it can turn into something great.